Oops, nope, I haven't gone live on Instagram. That would be why. Hi, everyone. Let me switch over to the live comments for Facebook. And here we are on Instagram. Camera 1, camera 2. That's never going to get old for me, so I hope you enjoy it. Welcome. It's Thursday, and we're baking with me, Olivia, your favorite satin doll. I mean, I'd hope I'm your favorite satin doll because all I do is show you sweet things to eat. I'll show you how to mess them up, too. All right, who do we have? Hello, Lauren. Art of Eloquence, hello. Hi, Michael, on Facebook. There's my tea. Full disclosure, guys, we're going to go on a ride today. It may not be as structured as we usually are, but I'm going to take you on a journey. Hello, everybody. Got to get my tea because, you know, it's good for the voice, just in case we have time for a song today. We should. But then again, who knows? It's 2020, so anything can happen, right? Hi, Tony. Hi, Christian. Thank you, Christian. All is pretty well. I was just talking to my producer, telling her how we finally finished remodeling our office. And we've got a rug in there. There's Lola. Hey, Lola. We've got a rug. We've got new storage. Like we got rid of everything except for the computers in the office. And my apartment is back to normal, and I'm so excited. And LAPD woke us up at 6:45 this morning with helicopters all around our neighborhood. So it's going to be an interesting day. We'll just leave it at that. Okay, tea has to steep. Woo! I'm drinking my Constant Comment today, which is a tea that my dad turned me on to. Okay, apron, because I'm wearing a white t-shirt, and we all know what that means. It's going to get dirty by the end of this afternoon. Okay, great. There we are. Hi. Hi, Jen. Hello, Carlos. I've got my special satin dolls apron. Let me see if I can take this, the whole thing. Look, pockets. Everything should have pockets. Fellas, if you ever want to please your lady, get her a dress with pockets and she will love you forever. And that is not an exaggeration. Okay, so I'm going to put my lunch aside. Today, what are we making? We're making custard tarts. I'm going to switch you guys back up here. Woo. Probably should have also gotten a hair tie for myself. Oh, whatever. Hi, Eric. Hello, Alistair. I'm so sorry if I just butchered pronouncing your name. I'm so bad at pronunciations. As one of our friends on the trivia that we had over 4th of July weekend, I mispronounced Alnwick Castle. I kept calling it Alnwick. The L is silent. Like, why even put it in the word if you're not going to use it? That's my opinion, but whatever. All right. So, yeah, we're going to make custard tarts. And it's going to be an interesting day because I've never made these before. This was a technical challenge on one of the seasons of the Great British Baking Show. I believe it's the one with Ruby and Kimberly and Frances. Is that the one who like always had those weird, crazy concepts? Yeah, she was super creative and wonderful. So this is one of their challenges. I've got a mini egg tart pan that I just picked up today. Super excited. I might even show you guys something else because this bake is interesting. What you do is you make a sweet pastry crust. So not incredibly somewhat similar to the pie crust that I typically make, but this one actually has almond flour in it. And it's got caster sugar, a lot more caster sugar. Oh no, there we go. Okay. It has caster sugar and quite a bit more sugar than what you would have in a, hi Mark, hi Carlos. Welcome everybody. We're making custard tarts and I'm going to have to try and make this one by memory because I've got both of my devices where my recipe is saved. Ha ha! How fun. Hello, moi 328. C'est moi. Okay, so what I have in here is plain flour and almond flour. Hello, Sarah. Did you and your husband have a nice anniversary, Past? Yes. You know, Michael, we finished our office. We got our rug came that day. His gift came, which was a vintage. I'll show this to you because it's super cool. It's a vintage cocktail shaker set. Isn't that? And it's got like recipes, and it kind of reminds us of the Cheers title sequence. If you know that sitcom from the late 70s, early 80s. Isn't that right? Cheers, where everybody knows your name. Anyway, it came with a shaker and some glasses. It was real fun. And we had ourselves some gimlets, some Hendrix gimlets. I treated us to Hendrix. Year 4, the traditional wedding gift is fruit and flowers. And I said that we would count the juniper berries and rose that is infused in the Hendrix gin as the fruit and flowers gift to him. So did I cheat? No, I got clever. Cheers is the 80s. That's what I thought. I was gonna say it's either was it officially 1980? But anyway, it's a good show. I think it's still on Netflix. You should go watch it. This is going to be baked fun. Yes, Carlos, it is going to be baked fun. But yes, love your Mad Men dreams. Yes, living my Mad Men dreams for sure, Eric. Okay, so custard tart. Let's see how this goes. Apple pie and custard. Martin, that sounds delicious. Welcome, Martin. Okay, so what we have in here is a measurement of plain flour and a measurement of ground almonds. I cannot remember the measurements off the top of my head, but I did use my scale to measure all this out for, Eric says Cheers premiered in 1983, so the year my older sister was born. Yeah, I used my scale because being a Paul Hollywood recipe, it's of course in grams and ounces and not cups and teaspoons. So I measured out and I put learned a valuable life lesson. If you're going to measure all of your ingredients in the same bowl, don't tip them in. Maybe spoon the second ingredient because I definitely got 10 grams too much of almond flour in there and it instantly mixed with the flour. So we have a little bit more almond flour than we're supposed to, but whatever. So flour and flour, plain flour, almond flour. Then we've got, I think this is how it goes. Maybe I'm just going to have to open up a tab on my computer and go to my bookmarks. Oh no, how would I find this here? Custard Tarts. Look, that's in my Google search. Great. Ha, cheating. Hi, Dad. Hi, Garrett. Welcome, welcome. We are making Paul Hollywood's Custard Tarts. So it's 165 grams of plain flour, 25 grams of almond flour. We've got 30. And then 4.5 ounces of chilled unsalted butter. I've broke out the good stuff today. I got my Kerrygold. And then we'll add an egg later. And we're going to add 2 ounces of caster sugar to this. So then add the butter. Yeah, I had that right. So we've got our butter cubed up, ready to go. And we're going to work it with our fingers. Yeah, really exciting. I love when I get to play with my food. I wasn't really that kid that played with their food, but I definitely blew bubbles in my drink every chance I could get. My parents would get on to me all the time, but whatever. Okay, and they said work fast because typically you want your fats to stay solid. That helps with the flake. You think about like a croissant. They definitely got those buttery flaky layers, and it's because it's just the butter. It's how the butter melts and works with everything else in there. Okay. I mean, I could probably use my pastry blender if I'm being honest, but hey, I don't mind getting a little messy today. So it should resemble breadcrumbs. Okay. All right. And typically I don't work with my fingers in my regular pie crusts because the heat from your fingers tends to melt the fats in the butter. And like I just said, you want the fats to stay solid and intact so that they've got, so that they create a better flake. But I probably could have cubed these pieces of butter up a little smaller. And in the end, it should look like breadcrumbs. I'm going to take it back over here. Hi, there you are. Yeah, I've got a laptop that's also a touch screen, which is so funny. Every time my friends hi Kendra, my friends who are Apple users and MacBook users, whenever I'm working on my computer in front of them, I start touching the screen and it moves everything. And they're like, what is this witchcraft? It is the Android life, the non-Apple life. That's what that witchcraft is. I've never owned an iPhone. I've never owned a Mac. The only Apple product I've ever owned is a green iPod mini. How cold should the butter be? For this case, normally, if you've watched me make pies on here before, I freeze my butter so that it stays solid. But as long as you keep it in the fridge right until you're about to use it, it should be fine. Okay, so now that I've made a mess of this, I should probably take the tea bag out of my teacup. My fellow Brits, what do you say? Okay, so you can see it's kind of breadcrummy. Let me remove this little thing. Multitasking. Just call me the master multitasker. I'm not that great at it. I am. I'm great at multitasking and messing things up. There we go. So 2.5 ounces of, nope, just 2 ounces of caster sugar is going to go into the crust mix. Oh no, the bowl was a little damp and so it is stuck to the bowl. But yeah, to answer your question, Eric, as long as you keep it in your refrigerator until right before you're ready to add it, you should be fine. And in fact, it's a good thing that I did not freeze this butter because it would have been harder to work with my fingers. Okay, and then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to add an egg. Hi, Payne. How's it going? Welcome. Okay, guys. We went to the farmer's market. That was another thing we did for our anniversary. That was the height of our day. We went to the farmer's market. I got the most amazing peaches. I am not bothered by the fact that I spent $6 on them because they were tasty. And we got some golden cauliflower and we got some fresh eggs, which gave me a little bit of a headache this morning because this is one of the eggs. You can see they're huge. They're massive. Every single egg I have cracked from this farmer's market egg has had a double yolk. That one didn't. Oh, yay, I picked the right one. I was super concerned that it would have a double yolk because the custard is basically milk, sugar, and egg yolks. And I only needed 7 egg yolks. And, oh no, I wasn't supposed to stir that in. Was I supposed to work that with my hands? I don't know, guys. Get ready for some fun. Buckle up if you haven't already. Work it, own it, use it. Or as Mama RuPaul would say, you better work. I have been watching a lot of RuPaul's Drag Race recently. I really do enjoy it. Ooh, this makes me a little nervous that this egg was too big. But oh well, we are committed. Ooh, the only other time I've put an egg, hi Rockabilly, hi Web, looking forward to Jazz Night for sure. Yes, Tony. I'll touch on that and then we'll get back to this crust. This Saturday at noon, I believe, noon LA time, 8 p.m. London time, we will be doing a live stream with the dolls. And it's going to be just us in full glam singing our favorite jazz standards. And I'm real excited. Okay, I definitely did not prepare well for this. It did look like an unusual sized egg, Eric, until I hold it up next to my store-bought eggs. But yeah, be sure, go to our Facebook page and you can RSVP to our event this Saturday. And then next Saturday, the following Saturday, we've got our Christmas in July show, which should be really, really fun. Okay, so here I am. Hey, Ryan. Could you come grab the cling film out of the drawer for me? Because I am messy. Oh, man. Okay, so you basically, I'm real worried about this, guys. I don't know how this is going to come out. Hello. Will Melody make an appearance, Christian? You know, you got to talk to Lola. You got to ask Miss Lola about that. Thank you. Could you just pull out like a thing as if I'm going to? Oh no, are we almost out? That is rough. Woohoo! Okay, so this is what it looks like. It's really, really crazy. I have put egg in a pie crust before, but that's when I was making a gluten-free pie crust. Okay. Just formed some pastry on my oven. Okay, great. Thank you. Make it work. That's the motto of our lives. Okay, well, there's a lot of that there. Just set them back on the cutting board, please. Okay. Thank you. I love you. There he is, ladies and gentlemen, the mystery man. Okay, so we've got our crust in cling film. I'm going to form it into a disc. Woo! Don't know what's happened to Melody. I know. Ever since VE Day, fans have been obsessed with Melody. I don't know why. Y'all, this feels like super melty Play-Doh. Hello, Anna. Hello, Elaine. We're making custard tarts today. And this is a gooey dough. I'm really worried that that was way too much egg. That's kind of what I'm thinking, but I could be wrong. But anyway, I'm going to form it into a disc, and we're going to let it set in the fridge. We're going to let it rest. Now, for my typical pie crust, oh no, there you go. For my typical pie crust, I let it rest for at least an hour, sometimes overnight. Could you schedule your events so as not to conflict with the jive aces live streams? Oh, I don't know. That's another Lola question. Every night. I know it's hard to choose between the dolls and the jive aces. They're some great friends of ours. But yeah, you should talk to Lola about that. We want Melody. She's brilliant. Well, I will let her know you guys said so. Hi, Scott. Hi, Angela. Eric, I'm going to show you just how big these eggs are compared to the store. They are massive. They're huge. This is what I'm used to baking with, but these are ginormous. And like I said, they all had double yolks, which made it really hard to get the egg yolks separated when I was separating them this morning. Had to do 7. I think I have 7 in there. I don't know, but here they are. Okay, so the crust has to rest. Whoops, not 3 minutes, 30 minutes. Start. There we go. Okay, so the crust is resting. I'm going to treat you guys to a second bake. Maybe she knows too much has been kept hostage. Oh, Christian, I don't think she knows too much. I think the question is, does she know enough? Oh, that's not what I needed to do. Okay, so wait. What is the store-bought size? The store-bought size was the white one, that little tiny white one, Eric. Super small. So I'm going to do something for you guys that Yeah, I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to try it. We're going to do 2 bakes today. Oh, no. Oh, no. I just spilled cocoa powder all over my kitchen floor. Great. Cheers, friends. Cheers. No, Eric, that's a large egg. The store classifies those as large eggs. I don't know. It's weird. Get Melody cooking. Melody would make a bigger mess than I would. Let me tell you that much. Oh, no. I can't believe I did that. Okay, moving on. So, this is a breakfast bar recipe that I actually really enjoy making. Haven't made it in a while because, you know, I'm lazy, but we're going to make it today. Yeah, Eric, see, it's nuts. It's nutty, nutty, nutty. Nutty as a fruitcake. I'm regretting my decision to wear layers today. What's the second bake, Michael? So this is a kind of fudgy brownie breakfast bar. I gotta grab my, what's it called? Food processor. That's what it's called. Man, my brain is just, it's doing its own thing today. I'll tell you that much. Instagram, I'm still here. Facebook has a much wider lens because you're on my computer. Oh. Okay. Okay. All right. Yes, I remember how to make this from memory, I think. So the first thing we're going to do, it's a breakfast bar with oats and nuts and a little honey and peanut butter to glue it together. You don't actually have to bake it. You just have to freeze it. Hello, Candyland. Hello, Frosty 107. We've got a sweet pastry crust chilling in the fridge. It's resting. The custard doesn't need to be made until right before it gets put into the shells, basically, into the crust. So I'm going to pause on that one. And what we're going to do now is thoroughly regret not prepping this better. But that's okay. We're going to make it work. Okay. So the first step of this whole thing is toasting the nuts and the oats. So it's a cup and a half, I believe. I'm just going to go ahead and, okay, you can sit down there. That's fine. That was just my lipstick liner, my lip liner. That's what it's called. I told you guys, today was going to be real interesting. Lip liner. Not like I ever use that thing. I use it a lot. Okay, there's my board. I've got like 12 boards on my Pinterest, but I only use one of them consistently. But it's always at the very, very bottom because I labeled it yummy in my tummy. And rather than go by use and frequency of using these boards, it goes by alphabetical order. It's also kind of frustrating because when I try to pin a recipe to my Pinterest, it never brings up yummy in my tummy as an option of which board I want to put it on. And I'm like, what is your algorithm? What do you do with your spare time? Okay, I just want to make sure I'm getting the right measurements. This is actually going to help me a lot because apparently you shouldn't drink coffee before having food because it messes with your cortisol levels. Is that right, Ryan? Yes, it messes with your cortisol levels, which essentially messes up your sleep patterns. And I've been having trouble sleeping, I'll be honest. Not fun, but oh well. Okay, so it's a cup and a half of oats. These fudgy brownie breakfast bars, switching gears. So sorry. You make cooking so much more fun to watch. Oh, well, thank you, Merlin. Tell all your friends. I don't mind who ends up stopping by. I'm just glad that you guys are here. It always makes me so happy. I have a lid. Oh well, who needs it? So a cup and a half of oats, and I'm going to do this real fast. Cup and a half of oats, and then a half cup of each almonds and pecans. Actually, you know what? I'm going to switch it up, and I'm going to use pistachios because why not? Why not? The second carrot cake that I made actually went to my friends Drew and Monica. It was Drew's birthday the day before our anniversary, so the day after I did my bake last time. And I was able to give them my second carrot cake, and I topped it with pistachios. Ooh, the heat has been making me sleepy. Ooh, gosh, how hot has it been getting over there? Oh, thanks, Merlin. Oh yeah, Lala mentions that if you're enjoying the stream right now, you can hit a share button on Facebook at least and start a watch party. Okay. New knives, love them. They're the best. So this recipe calls for almonds and pecans. I love almonds, but people have gotten so crazy. The almond industry has just exploded so much that it is starting to affect the bee population in a negative way. So I have stopped doing almond butter, almond milk. The only almond products I really buy are, initially I was only gonna buy almond flour, but I realized now that I have a food processor, I can make my own almond flour. So that's what I do. Hurry, get on board, it's coming. Oh, that's the sing. That's the sing that I might be able to song for you later. What a day, you guys. What a day. That's the song I'm planning to sing for you later. I've been listening to Ella, as always, and I recently rediscovered the Ella Sings Duke Ellington songbook. That was another one of the first CDs of hers that I purchased. And I just love it. Her version of Take the A Train is so good. And if you saw in my stories earlier, I was listening to Nina Simone sings Duke Ellington, mid 90s. Woo, Eric. Yeah, that's too much. My family back in Oklahoma, I think, is either on the tail end or still in the middle of a like almost 2-week heat wave of 105 plus degree temperatures. And that is Fahrenheit. Okay, so is this a half cup? That's what I need to know. All right, I'm chopping my almonds, or not my almonds, my pecans and pistachios, because everything essentially is just going to go into a batter, and then you spread it out into a big 13 by 9 inch pan and freeze it, and they make breakfast brownies. And that's kind of why I wanted to make these today, because I'm going to be very honest with you. By the time I get done doing this, I don't want to do anything else for the rest of the day. Rare is the time that I'm productive after a live stream. I didn't know that. I always sleep well. Yeah. Yeah. So drinking coffee on an empty stomach messes with your cortisol levels, and it affects how you sleep. And aside from, helicopters pursuing in a car pursuit this morning, literally in our neighborhood, it's been weird sleeping. Not sure why, but to remedy that, that's why I am making these. I don't know if it's the heat so much as the humidity. Humidity will get you too. That's why I'm making these breakfast bars, because they're really easy grab and goes. You can eat it on the run. It's nice. The other thing I need to do, let me check over here. The other thing this bar has in it is dates, pitted dates. And they're really good. Hello. How's everybody doing? Hi, Shane. Thanks for tuning in today, man. We are halfway through making custard tarts, a Paul Hollywood recipe, and I decided to switch gears and make another thing while I'm making my other thing. This is kind of how my brain just operates every day. I'm one of those people that has like at least 10,000 different things going on in my brain. I'm sure Lola can relate. Most of the dolls can relate. Anybody out there ever just go, wow, how do I function? I don't know. Anyway, this breakfast bar is super yummy, and I'm excited to eat these bars and a banana. Woof. Best breakfast ever. And I did buy bananas, although they might become bread because, you know, I haven't eaten them and they're getting brown. Well, they're not super brown, but I'm doing a really bad job of estimating how many nuts I need at a time. That's the door, Ryan. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a package. Maybe it's a package. I have gone hog and suey on, hello, Elvis. Well, you came to the right place if you're hungry. I was saying I've gone hog and suey on Etsy buying organizational stuff and decorative stuff for our office makeover. Was ist das? Things.
Frame.
Frames. Oh, we got some picture frames. Yay, I'm so excited. They're handmade. They're made out of bamboo, which is a really sustainable plant. Trying my best to do sustainability, overwhelm myself. It is tough. You're right, Eric. It's so tough to prioritize. Woo! Oh, I need a bobby pin. Okay, so I'm going to switch gears for a second and go to these dates. Pitted dates. We need 2 cups, and they're going to set in some warm water. Oh, God, I hope those aren't moldy. They look fine. I'm going to let them set in some warm water. They're going to soak in the warm water, and the warm water is going to make them plump. Dried fruit should actually be kept in the fridge. Fun fact, if you didn't already know that. Hi, Salvador. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Okay. Is that 2 cups? That's about 2 cups. We'll pretend like it is. So, doop. Okay. Another bowl. Dates in this bowl. And the oven is warm. We're just going to toast the almonds. The pecans, oatmeal, and pistachios. I like to toast it. You don't have to toast it for the breakfast bars. It just adds another flavor to it, which I think is delicious. Hello, Barbara. Barbara Sherian. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ran. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ran. Beach Boys are my mom's favorite band. She got to see them in concert. And when she told me I couldn't go to an NSYNC concert, I got really upset. She was like, "You're too young." I was like, "Well, how old were you when you saw the Beach Boys?" Mother, I did not go to that concert. And I pitched a shameful fit. I will just say that right now. Okay, so the dates are soaking. They're going to soak for 10 minutes. I'm not going to start another timer. I've got pecan. I keep misnaming my nuts. I've got the pistachios all together. Run a knife through the pecans. I love pecans. Pecans are a really good source of vitamin E, which promotes healthy hair and nail growth, and just a good complexion, which I should probably eat more pecans. Or as my papa used to call them, pecans, because he's from the South. And I just remember him they were from North Carolina, and we were driving away, or we were getting in the car to drive home from North Carolina back to Oklahoma. And Papa leaned out the house and he's like, "Y'all want some pecans for the road?" And I thought, that's actually not a bad idea. Cans you can pee in. I mean, it would definitely save on rest stops, but it's not sanitary. I don't recommend it. I'm not advocating for that at all. Do not mince my words. But no, he meant the pecans, because I think he had a pecan tree. If memory serves me correctly, he had a pecan tree, and he had like those nutcrackers. Tangerine Dream. Oh, I gotta look them up, Eric. Usually throw everything in the fridge. It's, I got into the habit of putting absolutely everything in the fridge, Tony, when I lived in my last apartment, and we lived there for 4 years. And halfway through our living there, somebody brought some roaches. And that's when I started using mason jars to store all of my non-perishable pantry items because they can actually chew through paper and plastic. So a hard plastic or a glass is definitely going to be your friend there. But yeah, I had to survive. I had to get my I had to put everything in the freezer. But yeah, dried fruit will stay fresher not in the freezer, in the fridge. My bad. Dried fruit stays fresher in a fridge. Okay. So, hi from Hamburg, Germany. Hi, Andreas. I have some friends who love Germany. I've not been to Germany. Apparently, a lot of my family hails from Germany. Actually, the town my mother grew up in, Kernersville, North Carolina, has a very, I don't know if they do still, but they had a very, what's the word I'm looking for? A large Moravian population. They've got a Moravian church there. And I got my dad a Moravian light for Christmas decorations. He's always loved that thing. Okay, so for these, hello, Edwin. So for these breakfast bars, we've chopped up a half of a cup of pistachios and a half of a cup of pecans or pecans, depending on where you're from, with a cup and a half of oats. You can see this. It's nice and pretty. I'm not going to tip it, otherwise it will fall over. Kind of like how I did with my lemon bars. We're going to put them in the oven at 350, and I'm going to let those toast for just a bit. Okay. And I'm going to eat a few almonds because I can. They're not almonds, Olivia. They are pecans. My goodness. I think I need a nap after this. I'm just going to call it. It's nap time for Olivia. Okay. Our dates are soaking. I'm going to put my nuts back in their cabinet. Take a sip of tea. All right. And then what you're going to do while the dates are soaking and the oats and nuts are toasting, measure out 1 cup of walnuts. This is such a great little breakfast bar. The only sugar in it comes from the dates and some honey, or you can substitute agave nectar if you want. I might have to do a mix of agave and honey because I'm running out of honey. Didn't realize that. I must be craving almonds. Eric, you're right. I was supposed to make my almond flour dinner rolls last night along with meatloaf, and I didn't because I got tired. And then we ordered takeout, and it was the worst takeout. I think I had 2 bites of my chicken, which was dry. You could see how dry it was in the box, and didn't eat any of my dinner last night because it was that bad. And guys, I will eat just about anything other than cilantro. I'll eat just about anything. Okay, so what you're going to do with the cup of walnuts, Eric, you're right. It's on my brain. I just need to eat some almonds, I guess. Going to take our food processor right here. Guys, I love this thing. I will go ahead and say it. Get a food processor. You can just do so much. You can make hummus, you can make falafel, you can make these breakfast bars. So we're going to pulse the walnuts, grind them into a fine meal. Ooh, okay. I got a hair in my mouth. Go a little bit finer than that. Where are we on time? Okay, great. We've got 10 more minutes for the crust. Walnuts are really good as well. Nuts in general are just fabulous. Okay. So. My kitchen's too small. There's the lid for my oatmeal. Can also double as a Frisbee. Catches a lot of air because it's very lightweight. Okay, I'm actually going to set that. No, we don't like to put our knives in the sink. Okay, so walnuts have been ground into their fine meal. And it's at this point that I'm going to just have to pause on everything because the dates still need to set to soak, the almonds and stuff. The nuts and oats are still toasting. Ooh. I should have finished eating my eggs. Maybe my brain would have worked better then. Okay, so walnuts go into a big bowl, big old bowl. Hello, the lollipops. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're taking a break from making our custard tart, and we are making a breakfast bar, a fudgy breakfast bar that I'm a fan of. What did I get in my milk? Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes-Benz? Anybody know that song? Little Janis Joplin for you. My friends all have one. I want to be like them. I've never known another person to have such a raspy voice, but still sound so wonderful. I mean, that was Janis. She was something else. Okay, so what I can do now is I can measure out the rest of the stuff while this waits, because the next step is blending up or grinding up the dates with some cocoa powder. And then it goes into the batch of the almonds. Let's check these. Toasty. Okay, you're still doing okay. Let's see. We got about a minute left on the dates. So switching gears over here. Quarter cup of almond butter, quarter cup of peanut butter. Well, I'm using peanut butter because, like I said, I don't do almond butter anymore because the bees. Save the bees, you guys. Save those bees. Peanut butter and honey. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to measure out my honey first and see. Ooh, I'll have to look her up too. I might have just enough honey for all of this. But if not, I do have some agave and I can switch it in there. Woo, y'all. I am seriously so close to having just enough honey. Carnes, Kim Carnes. Wait, have I listened to her before? I don't know. I did a musical. It was a modern day musical adaptation of August Strindberg's Miss Julie, and I played Julie. There were 13 songs in the whole musical. Hi, Adam. How's it going? 13 songs in the whole musical. I sang 9 of them, and 5 of those were solos. One of them was a 9-minute duet that closed out the first act. And every single solo was in a different musical style. And so the music director, who was also the composer for the show, had me listen to Lita Ford, and I think Kim Carnes was one that he recommended. But he was just giving me singers left and right to listen to for, just their different vocal styles and how they approached it. Because, and that's one of the things I really enjoy about the dolls is even though we work within that jazz realm, everybody is so technically trained. Hi, Richie. Everybody is so technically trained that we can switch in and out between whatever styles. And like Roslyn and Ella both can yodel, which we got to figure out a way to put their yodels in there. And I would love to learn to yodel. I'd love to yearn to yodel. I sometimes have verbal dyslexia. Bonnie Tyler, yes. Oh man, you're taking me back. What was it? Oh, all right. So we can get going on these dates. All right. Now, come back. Okay, so the dates are going to go into the food processor. It's got a name. Yeah, I'm going to have to put just a little bit of agave in there, which is okay. We're going to get going on those. And then we're going to add some cocoa powder. Oh, no. I might not have enough cocoa powder for this, seeing as how I spilled like half of it on my floor just now. Challah! Hey, Reggie. Do you ever make challah? Does challah make you holler? No. Oh, man. I have not enough cocoa powder because I literally, getting it out of my cabinet, spilled a whole thing of it. Like, yeah, I spilled at least a quarter of a cup of this stuff on my floor. That's okay. So we've got the dates. I'm going to put the cocoa powder in, whatever. It's just not going to be as chocolatey as it usually is. I think now is the time. We're still okay. Yodel, track the songs, yeah. It's time to check the almonds oats. Thank you, Michael. Yes. Okay. Yeah, they're not getting super, super toasty. All right, I'm going to keep going on this. You're going to blend your dates and cocoa powder in the food processor until it starts to form kind of like a dough ball. Okay, I'm going to say that's good. All right, and I'm going to call it on these. Woohoo! There they are. The edges are nice and toasty, and that's okay. And I'm going to go ahead and bump up the heat to 400 because that's what we're going to bake our custard tarts at. All right. I am in dire need of a hair tie, but I don't have one near me. For once in my life, I don't have one wrapped around my wrist. Hi, Lane. How's it going? Okay. So let's finish this up. We're going to finish the honey with some agave syrup. Nectar. Agave nectar. Never made me feel so right. That is a Reggie Watts song, which he is a weird, how would you classify him? Live looping artist. Yeah, we've gotten to see him several times live, and he's weird, and I love him. And he's got a range on him as well. And he's also, kind of a comedian. I think the first time we saw him was at Festival Supreme, which was this giant music comedy festival put on by Tenacious D, which is Jack Black's band. It was on the Santa Monica Pier. There were thousands of people there. They had two main stages, one on each end of the pier. And they did it really well. They set up screens on the sides of the stage so that when one main stage was performing, the other was setting up, but people in either tent could see both stages performing. So really, really well done. And especially considering that was like the first year they ever did that festival. They did it so right. But it took us like 3 hours to get home that night because there was construction on the 405 right where the 10 jumps off, and like half the people at that concert, I guarantee you, needed to take the 405 back to the valley. It was horrible. I was so mad. I ate McDonald's that night. It was nuts. Okay, so let that settle. I'm just gonna let it set in there. So in this pot, we've got a quarter cup of peanut butter and a quarter cup of honey. Mine has a little bit of agave nectar in it because I ran out of honey. There's our oven. We've got our 2 cups of dried pitted dates soaked in some water. They've been blended with some cocoa powder. Take this girl out. I'm just making messes left and right, y'all. Okay, so we've got the cup of ground almond walnuts in a bowl, and we've got Oh no, he's measuring in there. What is it gonna add? Okay, so by the way, if you ever do get a food processor and you've never worked with one before, be very, very careful with the blade. I stupidly stuck my hand in my food processor to try and like mix things up and sliced the heck out of my finger, and all I did was graze the blade. That is a sharp, sharp, sharp blade. What? You're gonna have to. Oh, okay, yes. I was like, what are you talking about? No, that makes sense. Yeah. No, I would almost rather travel in Pittsburgh after a sporting event than ever have to go through that madness again. Because it was, I guarantee you, it was several thousand people all at once in cars. Like getting out of the parking lot took, I think, an hour. It was just so crazy. But a really fun show. Gosh, Adam Sandler made an appearance. Megan Mullally made an appearance. Triumph the Insult Dog. Conan O'Brien was on there. We saw just everybody that day. Martin's, Felicity's Sweet Disney Voice. That's right. We're going to come up with another Disney stream for you guys at some point. I think I might have to do a rendition of Peggy Lee's He's a Tramp. Which, fun fact, don't know if you knew this, but the Lady and the Tramp soundtrack was completely recorded by Miss Peggy Lee. Because she's a goddess. He's a tramp. It's a good song. Okay. So, hello, Yash the Wanderer. All right, so we've got our walnuts, dates, and cocoa powder in there. I'm going to try to stir these up. I'm going to mix it. It's going to form kind of a dough, and that's largely the dates. And at some point, I'm just going to go back to using my hands because, oh, that was the timer for the tart, the crust, which I'm not worried about it just yet. Oh, but it's almost 2 o'clock. We're almost done. I might have to do a stories and finish up the custard. If I had measured all of this out beforehand, I would have been a lot more structured today, but that's okay. All right. So I'm now going to melt the peanut butter and the honey agave syrup. That's very true. Okay, this. Yay. All right. Oh no, that's hot. And I made a mess. I didn't do that well. Normally, I'm smart and I line my pans, but I did not, and so that kind of burned my hands. But essentially, we've got our oats and our nuts, which have been toasted. We're adding that to the dough here. The honey and peanut butter is going to melt, and we're going to pour the melted honey and peanut butter over this nutty, oaty, datey, weird mixture, and it's going to act as kind of like the glue, I guess. Well, yes, it does. You're right, Tony, an hour does go so quickly. Wow. I probably would have set something on fire if I had to wait 3 hours to get out of a parking lot. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. Because I bit off more than I can chew today, I'm definitely going to make a stories where I make the custard and fill it, and I'll let you guys know how the custard tarts turn out. Ooh, yeah, I forgot to take my rings off before digging into this stuff. It's a wonderful day. I am walking on air. How does that song go? It's a wonderful day. That's a Peggy Lee. It's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. La ba 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 dum. All right, let's come back over here. Doesn't really need to boil. It just needs to be runny. Runny enough to pour over. Check this out, man. Oh no! It paused almost at the last second. So It's a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. All right. I'm calling it. And then I'm going to wash my hands and I'm going to sing a song for you guys real fast because I feel so bad that I mismanaged my time today. I'm usually a lot better, but it's been a week, y'all. It's just been a week. Like those don't happen typically. I am juggling 2 recipes at once. You know, I've always been an ambitious person. For my directing 2 final in college, we were supposed to direct a 10-minute scene. Mine ended up being 30 minutes, partly because my actors never got together all at once to practice, which, you know, whatever. Okay, so here's what these bars look like. It's just a mess. All you do is you line a baking dish, a 13x9 baking dish, with some parchment paper. You can use the beeswax food wrap. It does leave kind of a waxy film on it, so just be careful. But it doesn't taste bad. But just set it in the dish, pop it in the freezer, cut it into strips, and you've got breakfast for a week at least. Okay. I'm still here, I promise. I didn't go anywhere. We will blame it on the heat. Oh yeah, did everybody see the Paris dolls on their Fête Nationale day? Oh, their string was so good. Frenchie taking a bite out of that baguette, which I was real jealous about. Okay. You went out Tuesday. Oh, that's nice. Yes, Michael, you're right. It was so great. Yes, tune in Saturday on our Facebook page. We're going to be doing a jazz standards with yours truly and my fellow dolls, Avery. You guys get to see Avery again. And Kennedy, she's another one of our quarantine dolls. Miss Ella and Miss Ivy from across the pond is going to join us. And I'm super excited to see what we do at these standards. Speaking of standards and Duke Ellington, here we go. You must take the A train to go to Sugar Hill way up in Harlem. If you miss the A train, you'll find you miss the quickest way to Harlem. Hurry, get on board, it's coming. Listen to those rails a thrumming. All aboard, get on the A train. Soon you will be on Sugar Hill in Harlem. Hurry, get on now, it's coming. Listen to those rails that thrumming on the board. Get on the A train. Soon you will be on Sugar Hill in Harlem. Short and sweet. It's much better when you have a whole band. I gotta say, my favorite part about Ella's version of this song. Ooh, you know what? I'm gonna put that lip liner to work. Check it out. I did it, guys. I finally got my hair up. My favorite part about Ella's version of Take the A Train, the horns at the very beginning start with this nice and it sounds just like a train whistle. And it's so good. And of course, it's like a 7-minute song because she's just scatting for the whole thing. But what a glorious, glorious song. All right, we've got 30 seconds remaining here. I'm going to go ahead and do a separate stories. I'll probably just post to the IGTV on the Satin Dolls page, finishing up this custard. We'll show you how these breakfast bars turn out. Next week, I'll try to be a lot less scatterbrained, but thank you so much for joining us. Tune in Saturday at noon, Los Angeles time, 8 London time for the Satin Dolls singing the jazz standards. Bye, 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 bye. Oh, my video paused.